guess, how you're keeping things. There's things that you liked last night, things that you didn't. I mean, when you look back at the tape, is there a step forward from trying to get rid of some bad habits?
Yeah, like I said, that's why this is an 82-game season. You got to continue to try to focus on the things that are going to get you where you want to go to. And, watching the film, this is what I said last night. I could have helped them better, and that's the first thing I told them. And I got to make sure I hold myself accountable first while holding everybody else accountable. But the players, they know. We talked about it. They understand what they have to do, and it has to be done over a 48-minute period. But there were good things that we did last night on both ends of the floor. There were a lot of good things offensively. Our pace for the first time was where it needed to be. Not only our pace pushing the ball, but man, we got to the corners like we did year one. It was the best we did getting to the corners consistently for the whole game, which helps our pace tremendously. But that's the best we've done all year, and even including last year possibly, and it showed. We want to keep crashing the glass. Domas did a hell of a job offensive rebounding. We got to continue to get everybody else to make sure they crash and try to get second opportunities. We touched the paint and sprayed it. At times we were physical defensively. At times we executed the game plan defensively. But like I said, it's the small details that may or may not show up in the box score. That most times it doesn't show up in the box scores, and we have to make sure we talk about it and correct it the next time. And I thought that's what we did a good job of. But it all starts with me.
What are those things that you identify that you feel you could help them with?
So like I said, we, going into the game, we wanted to switch pick and rolls with Wemby, and because, and then when he got the ball, we wanted him to ISO. He, throughout the whole game, he had 6 ISOs on our guys, and he scored 6 points. Now 4 of them were late. He scored 4 on Malik. He scored 2 throughout the rest of the game. He had 11 assists, and on those 11 assists, he had 30. The team had 30 points. That's what we wanted to avoid. We wanted to say, okay, Wemby's inside the 2-point line. Don't go for a steal when you're guarding him. Just lean on him and let him shoot a turnaround. If he makes it and he beats us shooting 22s during the course of the game, hey, maybe we're not supposed to win. But when we switched, I think it's just a natural human reaction for us. If you're Wemby and I'm guarding here, guarding Deuce, just to kind of sit right here. So now all he did was, because he's longer than everybody, just throw over the top here, and you're sitting just like you would at the end of practice when somebody's rebounding for you and throwing the ball out. You're sitting here catching and shooting. And we told our guys, leave, it doesn't matter if it's Fox, Malik, whoever, leave them on an island. And those guys just got to fight and make sure that we stay close to shooters and find cutters. But, again, if we're not executing that the right way, then I need to get out of, even though I believe in it, and the numbers told the story, I need to get out of it.
But there seemingly was too like some miscommunication on like pick and roll coverage where like maybe Keegan Sabonis would drop off to the big and leaving the shooter space too. Is that just talking?
Yeah, well, again, it comes down to the details. So when you read pick and rolls, okay, if I'm guarding a screener, I'm gonna take you. You're gonna be the screener. You're gonna screen Sean. You got the basketball, right? You got the as you go to screen Sean. If I let you go ahead. What are you going to do now if the ball's here? You're going to slip to the rim, right? Because look, there's all that rim. The rim's here. You're going to slip to the rim. So when you slip, I'm going to be like, oh, shit. You're going to be like, oh, shit, we're both going to go with you. And you're wide open. What needs to happen is, as you're going to set the screen, come on, go set the screen. Can you slip?
No.
Okay. I got to control the screener first. On top of that, now I'm going to switch it. You come set the screen on me. I'm guarding the ball. You got the ball. if I anticipate that I'm gonna switch this pick and roll, okay, you're coming to set the screen on me.
Okay.
So you're guarding here. Okay? So if I drop too soon, okay, and you're underneath him, what are you gonna do? You're gonna stop right behind him and shoot it. Can I get to you?
No.
Can you get to him? No. He's just gonna screen the first guy. Same with the DHO. If he has a DHO and we're switching to DHO, if I leave too soon to get underneath and you're underneath and you're getting the DHO, where are you gonna stop?
Back here.
You're gonna step directly behind him. And who's gonna get to you?
No.
Nobody. So it's about a sense of physicality and aggressiveness that we need to have in those situations. And again, are those gonna show up in a stat sheet? No. What's gonna show up in the stat sheet is your made three, though.
Yeah.
And so the attention to detail, when we all know it, and we're gonna all get better with it, has to be there. Because when you have a team like that, especially when you have a couple of breakdowns like we did early, and that ball goes in, now they're confident. That's you know, that rim gets wide.
How much does that have to do with, obviously there's a lot of talented players in the league, but you're dealing with Wemby and CP3, who might be a little more threatening than Sean and James.
Yeah, I'm not one of the hot guys.
Have you seen him shoot? I'm just asking.
You know,
We leave him
comment.
open.
No
He
comment.
could shoot
Okay,
it.
you leave him open.
not a hot guy. Not a hot guy.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Is this? I love him, and if he sees me, he's probably gonna beat me up for saying it. But is this Ben Wallace type or?
No, he'll shoot it.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll still shoot. it.
Yeah.
Ben will shoot it now, maybe.
Fair enough.
Maybe.
Now.
Maybe. Now. Yeah, that's a good point.
It doesn't matter anymore.
I'm sorry. What was?
But just the fact that it's CP3, obviously he's great at picking that apart.
CP3, he was. I mean, he was fantastic. He just the whole night you could just hear him tell this guy, "Hey, do this, do that." He orchestrated a lot of stuff that they had, and you know, it was a great pickup by them because he's teaching the younger guys how to play the right way. And then having a steady hand like HB out there is fantastic for them too. It's those two guys just upgraded that team tenfold.
Mike, how important is it? How important is it that you guys don't hit a panic button right now? That you guys are staying together and that it's one giant team moving one direction?
No, I mean that's why, like I said, it's an 82 game season. It's a long season. Now, don't get me wrong, we can't continue to be like, hey, let's lose games and figure it out, and we did this great and that great. But we got to win games because that's what we get paid to do, and at the end of the day, that's what it's about. But you know, we got. I said this before. Got to make sure we live up to our standard, and that's to communicate, to play for each other, or be there for each other. That's on the floor. That's off the floor. That's through adversity. That's through good times. We got to stay connected. But we also got to make sure we take accountability. And that's why I'll be the first one to say, I screwed up. I even told our group that I got to be better. I got to help them better. We all have to take accountability while we're going through this thing. Okay? And then at the end of the day, we got to compete. And not just compete defensively, but compete offensively. Competing here with each other, even if it's a shooting drill. We got to compete. We got to get something out of everything we do. So that's what this is all about. Our guys know it, and they're preaching the same thing too.
You talked a lot about the climb isn't always right. Like this, it's not always straight up. There's a big difference between regression and growing pains. Why do you feel what the team is going through more fits into that growing pains, and you'll come out of it better than taking steps backwards?
I believe in the guys in the room. I really do. I think their heart, their brain too, but their heart and their soul is in the right place. You could feel if guys are just going through the motions and they really don't care. Every single person, man to man down the line, care about what we're doing. And you can feel it. And when you feel that, and you feel like you have a good enough group, you know that things going to happen the right way, and it's not just a, like you said, it's not regression. It's, hey, maybe a step or two, sometimes 3 backwards. But if we keep pounding the rock, stay with it, stay together, like I was talking about, we're gonna have a chance to get right.
With starting Malik, I'd imagine that starting group is the easiest part of it. It's kind of how the rotations fall afterwards. What was the process like figuring that out and reviewing it? How do you feel like it went?
I thought it went well. I mean, we came out and we had a great offensive first quarter, and I told our guys, obviously it was hindered by us giving up that 3 at the end of the quarter, because they go into the huddle with some juice instead of, hey, we got to do this better, we got to do that better, and that can swing the game either direction in a big way. So I thought the group was good, and we're going to continue to give it a look. It was just a process, I wanted to try this and that and this before going to it, because now that I'm here, I got to give this a long look.